These are the motorcycle gadgets, accessories and tools that I've been using over the last 12 months and reckon you should check out. There's no affiliate links, nobody paid for this content, and it's a mix of things I've bought myself and had in for review. The links in the description will go to my reviews where I've finished writing them, and I'll also pop this logo up if there are discounts available for Bike Social members, but we don't get anything from you using them. They're just there if you want them. There should be something for every budget here, but as there's 40 bits of kit I want to show you, I can't waste any time, so let's get cracking. Workshop first. I've been using this ProBike 12 litre oil container for servicing our 2 cars and my bikes. This big tray helps me make sure the oil goes into the tub, not on the drive, and it's easy to take it to the tip to get rid of it. It's not perfect, but of all the oil trays I've used, this is the best. If you've been following the videos about my 105,000 mile VFR 800, you'll know I have a love-hate relationship with it. You can watch them later up here or by scanning this QR code. But one of the many things I hated about working on it was stripping the fairing off, which was made a lot harder by the knackered fasteners. I bought this complete set from Biker Bling on eBay, and now it's easier to take to bits and the old Honda looks a lot better. I realised afterwards that it would have been cheaper to buy direct from the Biker Bling website rather than eBay, and I've not had a chance to write the review of these yet, but as with everything, I'll update the description as soon as I can. I feel like I just need to quickly explain how my job works. I'm paid by Bennett's to be the consumer editor, which means writing reviews and advice and making videos. If you've seen some of the big investigations I've done, like the one on airbags, you'll hopefully understand that everything I do is totally independent. Of course, a lot of kit is supplied for review, but no brand ever has any control over what I write or film, and I'll never allow paid reviews or affiliate links. I'm obsessed with making sure my reviews are totally unbiased, and honestly, I'm really lucky to have a job that means I'm not worried about what revenue I can make from content, because the whole point of what I do is to help build awareness of and trust in the Bennett's and Bike Social brands. Everyone's got an angle, and that's mine. Right, I bought this 3/8 Ven Hill T-Driver at Motorcycle Live many years ago, and while it's not cheap, it is really handy when I'm working on larger fasteners. The handle slides up and down, then locks securely, and it's been updated since I bought it with another attachment point on the handle for even more leverage. I bought it on its own, but you can also get it as a set with sockets and bits, though that doesn't seem to have the extra mounting point. For smaller jobs, I have this Fro Systems T-bar set, which my dad bought me for Christmas a long time ago. These get used loads. I seem to always end up talking about chargers in these videos, and this year I've got 2 more to show you. The Optimate Solar Duo 20 watt properly maintains your battery without any mains power. And don't confuse this with cheap solar panels that just trickle a small voltage into your battery when the sun's bright enough. This is a high quality panel with an Optimate charger that will fully monitor your bike battery's health, keeping it in peak condition and always ready to go. Bike Social member Roger Carlisle has this one on his shed and loves it for looking after his Z1000 SX. Another way you can keep your bike topped up without mains power is this Optimate DC to DC charger. It runs off an 11 to 16 volt input, making it ideal to power off a leisure battery, and it can charge lead acid or lithium packs. It will deliver up to 2 amps, and it'll even attempt to recover traditional bike batteries that have got as low as just 2 volts. This Wemoto phone stand is a bit of fun, and I've got it by my computer all the time. It's a great little gift for anyone into bikes. The thing is, Wemoto is an awesome place to buy motorcycle parts. I couldn't have done what I have on the VFR without them. And no, despite the stickers, they don't sponsor me. I just like stickers. I've bought a lot of the bits I've needed to work on the Honda, my ZX6R, and lots of others. It's really good value, but Bike Social members can save 10%, and if you buy your motorcycle insurance direct from Bennett's, you get that membership for free. There's hundreds of discounts that can save you literally thousands, plus competitions, experiences, and a lot more. I'm working on reviews of some great Rocky Creek kit, but we'll get to that in a bit. It's imported into the UK by Sport Touring, which is a bricks and mortar shop in Wales that stocks a surprisingly big range. Rocky Creek in Australia asked Mike at Sport Touring to send their gear for review, and while he was at it, Mike also sent some other bits he stocks for me to have a look at. Now this one-click 4-in-1 torch is one of them, and it's quickly becoming a workshop favourite. The aluminium handle charges with a USB-C cable, and by swapping out the heads it becomes 4 different torches. The lantern's great if you have a power cut or if you're camping, and the zoom torch is a very long throw with up to 700 lumen output if you need to pick out things a long way off. The Flexlight head can reach into awkward areas, and there's one that I've used the least, but it'll probably be one of those things that's suddenly essential one day, and that has a zoom head as well. The flood head is great in the garage or under my car's bonnet at night. And like the lantern, it's got a handy hanging hook. Plus the handle has a really strong magnet in it. Now since shooting this piece to camera, the little cover for the USB ports got lost off of this torch, which is annoying because it's not going to be waterproof anymore. I did think about taking this section out, but it also explains why some other bits appear in the rest of the video. I'm still using this loads, but it's frustrating that that's fallen out. You also need to make sure that the contacts are clean for a reliable connection, but it's still been a really handy tool. I don't usually cover security in these gadget guides as I go really in depth with the written and video destruction testing, but this one's a bit different. If you've got the best security on your bike, it'll be a lot less likely that anyone manages to steal it, but they might take whatever else they can lay their hands on if they manage to get in your garage. And designed mainly for tradies, the DataTag tool marking system can protect up to 24 items with their own tamper-proof ID sticker and microdots carried in a UV resin. It's easy to fit. It might put off the thieves if you're unlucky enough to be hit, and it can make it far more likely anything pinched will be recovered, as the police have direct access to the database. It could even help lead to convictions. You can get 30% off this, motorcycle, off-road, bicycle and trailer marking systems with Bike Social membership. Again, none of these are affiliate links. We get the discounts as high as we can by not taking any kickbacks. Finally, in the workshop is the workshop itself. If you're not lucky enough to have a garage, Bennett's covers locked metal sheds, shipping containers and wooden sheds on a concrete base as garage, which can save you a lot of money, or be the difference between getting cover and not. Asgard sheds are made entirely in Britain and are incredibly solid. My wife and I got one to keep some horse tack safe in a remote field, and this would be very hard to get into. Nothing's impossible to beat, but this would take a hell of a lot of work to get into by an extremely determined thief, and it's very noisy to do that. There's no windows, so you'll need to add lighting if you want to do any maintenance in one, but even if it's just for storing your bikes, or your horse riding kit, or anything else, this is about as good as it gets. Now, Helen and I built it ourselves in just over 3 hours, but Asgard will build it for you if you want. An Asgard shed's a sizable investment, but it's much thicker and tougher than a normal metal shed. It could save you money on your insurance, and it will last a very long time. Oh, and Bike Social members can save 10%. I'd always suggest you shop around when buying motorcycle insurance to find the policy that suits your needs best at a price that's right for you. Bennett's has been a leading bike insurance broker for over 90 years. The most common modifications are like road legal exhaust are covered as standard. You get 90 days EU cover included, a 24/7 claims line, and if you need any help with your policy, our lovely agents are all based right here in our own offices in Coventry. Buy your policy direct, and getting that free Bike Social membership could save you even more money. One of the biggest motorcycle tech releases this year has been the Chigi AIO 6. You can get it in the LTE version, which has its own SIM card for extra features, or the Max, which is a bit cheaper but still has all the main things you really need. This is an Android Auto and Apple CarPlay head unit that gives you access to loads of navigation and media streaming apps via your phone, as well as incorporating front and rear dash cams. You can add extras like tyre pressure monitoring, and though there are cheaper versions out there, this is very well made. It's also got full UK support from Palmer and proper UK distribution, so if you need any help with anything, you can get it. I'd suggest getting the Max rather than the LTE version, as I wasn't that impressed with the SIM-enabled features, but check out the full review linked in the description to decide for yourself if it's right for you. Now, I've been using the Chigi non-stop on my VFR 800, but on my GS it's the Kappa Eta tablet that I love best, as it's completely self-contained and gives amazing control over full-size maps. I use Osmond most, but also Kalimoto, and that's not available on Android Auto. Anyway, I don't want to spoil a big guide to all the options for motorcycle navigation that I have coming up, so hit subscribe as you won't want to miss that. I've already done a full guide to phone mounts. If that's what you want to use, then check out the link in the description or up here, and I'll explain why Peak Design is my favourite and the science behind why using your phone for navigation might be a bad idea. If you want old school tech, then here's another thing that Mike from Sport Touring sent me to have a look at: RiderScan. It sticks to the inside of the screen and gives a panoramic view of the road behind and to the side of you, totally eliminating the blind spots on your bike. I'll be honest, it's not something I tend to use, but it does work very well. And it's of course been ripped off on Chinese knockoff sites on Amazon, but this is the proper full-size original with a clear and smooth reflective coating. Right, action cameras. There's been so many this year that I'm going to have to go through them really quickly. The Insta360 Go Ultra is a great miniature action camera. You can use the body of it as a remote control, and it's brilliant for POV shots. The image quality is superb, a big jump over the older version. Or there's the DJI Osmo Nano. It's cheaper than the Insta360 and has what might be a better form factor for some users. It also shares the same quick release mounts as the other DJI action cameras, and you can get ND filters for it. But it doesn't have haptic feedback, and side by side the image quality is a tiny fraction down on the Insta360. You probably wouldn't notice. And then there's the new DJI Osmo Action 6, which now has a square image sensor that means you can shoot 4K 16:9 and 9:16 footage at the same time, then crop it how you want later. It's also got a variable aperture that has the main advantage of giving greater focal range when using the optional macro lens. I shot a full bike review with it and was very impressed. The Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is the main competitor, and while that has some very real advantages, features like the dual mic recording are a big deal on the Action 6. Still, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an Ace Pro 3 soon. DJI and Insta360 are really battling it out right now. The DJI Osmo 360 also has dual mic recording, so I found it really valuable when capturing all the interviews on my own at EICMA earlier this month. It's got great image quality, uses the same quick release mounts and even batteries as the Osmo Action 4, 5 and 6, and is currently being very heavily discounted, so it's a bargain. As I film this, you can get it cheaper even than the Action 6. I can't help speculating that there'll be a new Osmo 360 soon, as it misses out on the key feature of what I think is the absolute best motorcycle action camera. The Insta360 X5 solves all the issues with 360 cameras, and while it's expensive, you don't need to worry about it getting damaged because the lenses are user replaceable. Any 360 camera takes extra work in post-processing, but the versatility of being able to reframe a shot while editing is amazing. Insta360's desktop software is better than DJI's, and the Android app doesn't have to be side-loaded. I'm sure in a few months things will probably change again, but this is the winner when it comes to capturing epic shots. Although, earlier this year, I bought myself a DJI Flip and had it on my list for this gadgets video as I could carry it in my bike's tank bag and launch it from my palm. It was the best drone for motorcycle adventures. Until the DJI Neo 2. The image quality from the Flip is excellent, but the Neo 2 isn't far off. It's miles better than the original Neo. If you're using the controller, the Flip is still great and has much better battery life, but the Neo 2's palm launching is superb.
Front, cycling follow. 3, 2, 1.
And what really blew me away, the tracking is a massive leap ahead. I had this little drone tracking me off-road at up to 25 miles an hour, and it didn't matter whether it was behind me, to the side of me, or even in front. You don't really need the controller for most things you'd want this for on a bike, so it's also really affordable. I've just ordered the FPV Goggles N3 and Motion 3 controller as a Christmas present to myself after selling the Flip to a mate. Let me know if you want me to review that. When you're buying anything for your motorcycle, be sure to check out bikesocial.co.uk. Either search on our website or Google it and look for the Bennett's logo. If I've covered it, it'll likely be one of the first hits. And not everything is on video, and the great thing with written reviews is that if anything changes, fails or breaks over time, even years, I'll update the review to help you make those all-important informed decisions. I use my bikes through the year, but I want to keep them looking as good as possible. This extender fender from Pyramid Plastics protects the front of your bike's engine and the radiator. You can get them for almost any bike, and yes, there are cheaper knockoffs available for less, but this will last. It isn't made of brittle plastic, it's been properly designed to not foul anything, and the adhesive is incredibly strong and reliable. A lot of bikes seem to have really crap protection at the rear too, which is why I fitted this hugger to the back of the VFR. I put one on my 1999 ZX6R as well to keep that shock in perfect condition after I had it rebuilt at K-Tech. Again, this is designed and made in the UK by Pyramid, and yep, that logo means there's a 10% discount through Bike Social membership. In a previous video, I said how much I like the Brawl dryers, as they're so good at driving the moisture out of the nooks, crannies and switchgear of your bike after washing. The new Muck Off It Blows is a handheld air blaster that's not as powerful as a mains-powered Brawls, but it's more convenient. I wish it had a textured rubbery grip, as a machined aluminium body is quite slippery when wet, but it works well. There's also a smaller version available for less, but I haven't tried that or compared either of them to the dust blows you can find online. Keep in mind that these need to work in wet environments, so don't assume everything is the same. This time of the year more than ever, you need to have checked out the full test of corrosion protections, which is up here somewhere. Some brands try to claim that the ceramic coatings prevent corrosion, but that wasn't true in my testing at all. I've always been sceptical of ceramics, but after nearly a year of use, I will say that they can make it easier to clean your bike or car, and they can give a great shine. After the corrosion testing, I only had enough muck off ceramic left to do my push bike, but I've been really impressed with how it just seems to shrug off dirt. I'd use this on my motorbike, but you do need to follow the instructions carefully. The other option that I've been really impressed with is the Rocket Off Duraseal. It comes in a kit with cleaner and top-up quick detailer, or you can buy it on its own. Now this leaves a really deep shine, but you must do it in small sections at a time not put too much on, and buff it off quickly or it can leave a rough feeling finish. Now, I bought more of this since using up the first lot in testing, and just the other week found that bird poo slid off my wife's car much easier than I expected with this on the bodywork. Ceramic coatings can be good, but they're not a one-shot solution. If you want to ask me or any of the Bike Social team about motorcycles, kit, riding advice and, well, anything, join us, thousands of like-minded riders and some of the industry's best experts for free at bikeclub.bennetts.co.uk. I test a huge amount of riding kit. That's not what this video is about. I will say though that it's worth doing all you can to keep warm if you're out on the bike in winter. My go-to is a Zero Fit heat rub, which while expensive, really is very effective. There are cheaper versions that make good thermals, but it's the heat rub that really keeps me warmest. Beyond that, it's heated kit that really makes me happy through winter, with Kais making the best gear I've tried. I'm testing the B601 body warm at the moment, which also has a heated neck. You can get heated vests too, as well as jackets and gloves, with a lot of the range also being made specifically for women. There are a lot of great heated gloves available, but I reckon these 5 HG Prime GTXs have the edge thanks to the linked controller that means you only have to press the button on the right hand to turn them both on and off or change the power levels. The switch is also well positioned, and like the Kais kit, you can power them from your bike or built-in batteries. Sadly, the two brands don't have compatible controllers. For the ultimate luxury, it's gotta be heated seats. The main thing Helen complained about after we reviewed the R1300 GS together was our 1250's lack of bum warming, so she loves these beautifully made Wunderlich seats. They don't need any special wiring in the bike and have 2 heat levels controlled by the power switch on the side. On my GS, you can choose from a low or standard rider seat, but I found the standard to be a little too high for me. And these are firmer than the squidgy BMW originals, and you can occasionally feel that on some surfaces, but overall they're more comfortable and position you perfectly. They're not cheap, but once you've tried them, it's hard to imagine going back. The thing is, Nippy Normans offers a 2-week no obligation trial, so if you're tempted, I definitely recommend giving them a go. In this colder weather, I appreciate the Ermax double bubble racing screen on the VFR as it deflects the air up a little more. Of course, it also makes it easier to tuck your head down behind it on the track if that's your thing. When Helen and I go touring in Spain next year, I'll be glad of this short Puig racing screen. I fitted it this summer and love the extra air I get around my head. It looks full factory with perfectly finished edges, yet it's half the price of the BMW version. When it's hot, Zero Fit also does a range of cooling base layers. I used them this year, and while I wasn't sure at first, I did find that they're more effective than a lot of other gear at keeping you cooler. Never wear cotton in the heat, always go for a synthetic material, but these are a step up in comfort and do make you feel cooler when you put them on. Rucksacks aren't always ideal on the bike, but if you don't have any luggage, then there are loads to choose from. Oxford has some excellent new Atlas kit out there, but I've been finding myself using my trusty old Kriega R15 a lot recently. It's small, comfortable, and ideal for carrying my filming kit with me when testing bikes. I bought this in a sale at my local bike shop years ago, but like the R30 that's been all around the world with me, it never shows signs of wearing out. The only problem with this is that it's not fully waterproof, so don't use it for long tours in all weathers unless you pop a dry bag inside. If you struggle with vibration on your bike, these grip puppies might be worth a try. Once on the handlebars, they're very secure and can really dampen things down. Obviously, they make the bars fatter, which can feel strange, and while they work with heated grips, they definitely reduce the warmth. They also get damp in the rain, they're not totally sodden and dry fairly quickly. 2 years ago, I bought this Mototex t-shirt at Motorcycle Live, and it's been my favourite ever since. They haven't got this design anymore, but I bought this one when I went last week. And they're made in the UK, and considering how great quality they are and how well they last, they're really good value. Mototex is one of the first stores I make a beeline for now at any show, and I'll definitely be getting some more. I know I said I don't do security in these videos, but the Hiplock Z-Lock combo is another one I just wanted to mention. It's obviously not got the incredible security, the DX1000, which I've found to be the best motorcycle D-Lock, but it's really handy if you need to just lock a bag or your helmet down while you leave the bike for a while. If you've got a chain-driven motorcycle with no centre stand, then this will interest you. A good paddock stand will of course help you lube the chain and clean the rear wheel, but when you're out and about, you'll need to rely on a mate to lift the back up on the side stand while you try very hard not to get the chain lube on their feet. Made under licence from Tyrox, the Oxford Snapjack V3 slips under your bike swing arm, then locks upright to keep the rear wheel off the ground. It's adjustable for different bikes and compact enough to be pretty easy to carry in your luggage or even under some seats. This is another one that Mike from Sport Touring sent me to have a look at, and if you told me I'd be reviewing a 24 quid coat hanger, I'd have laughed in your face, even if it is a unique design made in Britain with a lifetime warranty. But this thing can carry 63.5 kilos. That's not enough for me, but it will take Helen's weight. If you've had leathers or bike kit brake hangers in the past, you'll understand the benefit of this. And Sport Touring also sells this Motorbrite warning triangle. Hopefully I'll never need it, but if any bike's likely to leave me stranded at the side of the road again, it's the VFR. Now this fits under your number plate and stays securely closed, but turns on automatically when you open it up. It's a neat idea that keeps you a lot safer if the bike breaks down. I had a Rocket tyre inflator that I thought would be in this best gadgets guide, and while it was okay, it had too many flaws in the design to make it something I'd recommend. But while researching alternatives, I found this Airman Mini. It's really well designed with a hose and accessories tucked away in the body, a deflation button for letting your tyres down to set a set pressure on track or off-road, and a digital readout. My only criticism of this is that the presets aren't stored when you turn it off, but it's got enough power in the built-in battery to easily fill a completely flat tyre or top up a rear that's been dropped for a track day up to 9 times in my testing. If you want a battery-powered inflator, the Ring I reviewed a few years ago is still great, but this Airman is really compact and brilliantly thought out. Of course, a battery could go flat, so on a big tour or adventure you might want something that you can power from the bike. The Rocky Creek Motopressa mini pump is tiny, powerful, and like all Rocky Creek products, created exclusively by Greg and Janice Jansen, who run the Australian company. Now this connects to the bike's battery by crocodile clips or an SAE connector, like an Optimate Charger Fly Lead. And it remembers the 3 presets you program into it. Keep the bike running while you use it and it'll refill as many tyres as you need, taking just under 7 minutes to fill the rear on my GS. This is proper adventure touring kit built specifically for motorcycling by people who really understand it. It's all very well having an inflator, but if you get a puncture, you need to be able to fix it. And that's where the Rocky Creek puncture repair tool comes in. It was designed by Greg Jansen and includes everything you need to fix a tubeless puncture at the roadside. Pliers, a reamer, repair string, needle applicator, and a knife that uses standard Stanley type blades. The knife section is locked in place until you want to remove it, and vulcanized repair strings are tucked in the back of the pouch. And I tested it on an old ZX6R tyre and it worked brilliantly. The very solid build making it really easy to repair a puncture. And once I've taken out the bits I don't need from the Motopressa mini pump's carry case, I can tuck this in and know I'll not be stranded if I get a flat. This is now an essential carry for me. The Rocky Creek Puncture Repair Tool won a Good Design Award, and it also wins the Bennett's Bike Social Gadget of the Year for 2026. If this video has given you some ideas, please do hit the like button and subscribe to not miss the big investigations I have coming up.